Hello, how is everyone doing? So, I would like to bring you guys a live commentary here of the world first TBC beta, Magtheridon's Lair, full clear. Obviously, world first is a bit of a meme. Plenty of people have killed this boss in the past, in 2007, on various other servers that will not be named, when the content was arguably tuned even more difficult than it is now. But we were able to get the first kill on the TBC beta, and I believe it was the only kill with the boss's HP actually being at 8.3 million. The HP was hotfixed to be about half of that. It was hotfixed to about 4.5 million after some notable guilds were struggling to kill the boss. So this is actually footage of the only kill where it was on 8.3 million HP on the beta. So let's get into what's happening here. Yeah, our raid comp is kind of a bit of a ragtag group of NA gamers, so I was a little bit surprised that we were able to get the first kill in the beta. But obviously we have some pretty notable names in the group. Abide, a very competent raid leader, very experienced TBC tank and raid leader. I mean, we've got plenty of notable names in the group. It's not like we've got bad players at all, so we were just able to line up with a decent group comp, maybe a little bit of luck on our side, and we were able to get the first kill on the beta. So let's get into this footage and break down a little bit what's happening here. So we start off DPSing Skull, bursting Skull. I'm going to use drums in my group. We are able to kick the Dark Mending there. The main mechanic on these channelers is going to be interrupting the spells they cast. As you can see, I'm going to prioritize interrupting the spells rather than DPSing. However, you are going to see me greed for my own personal DPS a little bit here. I'm sure I fail to get some kicks, but my main job here really should be kicking, making sure no casts go off. So my assignment is to kick X. Skull, or Moon rather, actually gets a Shadow Bolt volley off of there, so somebody failed their assignment to kick that. I think I get the kick there, or you saw the Earth Shock go off and kick it. Either way, we interrupted that, so I think we've only let one Shadow Bolt volley go off at this point, which is not bad. The raid is a little bit low. It looks like we've got some Warlocks tapping. Warlocks are a bit low, but we're in a stable position. So there I really messed up. I did not kick the Shadow Bolt volley. I don't know, I was greeting for DPS, or I just got to the mob and I wasn't ready to kick it. It is notable the Shadow Bolt volley is decently fast, so if you use an ability and you're locked on a GCD, you are not going to be able to kick the Shadow Bolt volley, so you have to hold back your DPS and make sure you have an available global to interrupt. Interrupting is way more important than your personal DPS. I believe I got that kick there, so that's pretty good on my part. Good job. But our personal DPS is going to suffer, but that's because we're doing the actual mechanics of the fight, right? Which is way more important. Playing Arms Warrior in TBC is going to be a bit of a rude awakening for people playing Warrior in Classic. Arms Warrior is kind of more of a supportive DPS spec. It's not really so much about your personal damage, it's about the debuffs and utility you provide to the raid, right? So we get through phase one pretty well there. We had some Shadow Bolt volleys go off, but it's not the end of the world. We're still going, obviously. I'm going to use my drums again because I noticed they're down. We didn't have a perfect drum rotation for this. So Mag is going to use his ability, which knocks everyone back in the room periodically. And then I'm going to get in position to get the first click on the cube here. This is a really important mechanic of the fight. Obviously, if you fail this mechanic, then the raid instantly wipes. There's no way to heal through the damage, there's no way to recover, so this is pretty much the most important mechanic in the fight. And you can also see Magtheridon's health there, it's at the 8.3 million, and I believe this was the only kill on the beta that was with the 8.3 million health, so I was pretty proud that we were able to do that. Here I'm gonna pop 2-minute CDs with Lust, because I don't have Death Wish up. It's just a bit of a shame that my Shaman's using Lust when I don't have Death Wish up. I mean, that's something we could coordinate better. It's because I Death Wished initially on pull, which I think is a fine play. So in a more organized group, I could communicate with my Shaman not to use Lust until I have Death Wish up, perhaps. That's something that you could coordinate with your Shaman, because obviously you want to use all your CDs during Lust. If I had Wreck, I would have wrecked during the Lust. You don't want to wreck in execute phase, you want to wreck during the Lust, right? So here, my group is not called up to click the cube. I believe it's group 2 clicking the cube, so I'm going to continue DPSing as normal. As you can see, I'm going to be keeping demo shout up on the boss, which is very important. And you can see the boss is dying pretty slowly here. As I mentioned, it's at the 8.3 million health, so it's going to take a little while to kill this boss here. The boss's health was actually halved because some notable guilds were struggling on it, and they pointed out that the boss's HP was too high compared to original values. So I do think it's pretty cool that we were able to get the only pre-nerf 8.3 million health Magtheridon kill. As you can see there, I'm getting some nice Wind Furies procs, some sword spec procs there. I'm playing two-handed arms with sword right now, which is really ideal. You can also play axe spec. Axe spec is decent. Mace spec obviously significantly weaker, does not really give you as much at all. So, and we're gonna get off another beautiful set of clicks there, interrupting his Blast Nova. And it's something to note that when you are clicking the cubes, you can actually, all you have to actually do is click on the cube once. And if everyone clicks on the cube once and all cubes are clicked simultaneously, you can let go of the cubes because clicking the cube and holding it down actually deals damage to you. So in the event that you need to let go of clicking the cube because you're too low health, you can let go. As long as everyone has clicked all 5 cubes individually at the same time, it will still interrupt the Blast Nova. You don't need to click it down and hold, but if you do click it down and hold, it's going to stop Magtheridon from attacking, so it's obviously beneficial to do just that if you have enough health to do so, that is. And here we get another set of clicks off, and the boss is at about half HP at this point, 4 million HP left, and this is looking like a pretty solid attempt. Should be a kill as long as we can get our clicks down, right? Just trying to avoid some fire there. I'm going to use my Abacus trinket there as well. And as you can see, I'm using Elixir of Demon Slaying on Magtheridon because that's actually going to give you more HP than a Flask of Relentless Assault, right? So it's important to be stocking up on some Elixirs of Demon Slaying, guys. They have various uses in TBC, in Hyjal, and on Magtheridon, obviously. And it looks like here I am being called to click in Group 1 soon here, so I'm going to stop auto-attacking the boss, stop using abilities on the boss, just completely get ready, get in position to click my cube. I don't care about my DPS. The only thing that matters is clicking the cube, so really just want to make sure that doesn't happen. So every time you click the cube, you're going to get a 3-minute debuff on yourself, right? Meaning that you won't be able to click the cube for 3 minutes. So you have to have different groups rotating in and out, clicking the cubes, right? That's, you know, the main mechanic of this fight in Phase 2. Really important mechanic. There's obviously other mechanics such as cave-in and the knockback that it does. It's also worth mentioning that the boss cleaves. The boss cleaves in front of him, which is going to be relevant here in a few minutes or a few seconds, maybe like 30 seconds or a minute or so I'm not exactly sure. My Elixir of Demon Slaying ran out right there. I should refresh it. I don't think I do though. I'm focused on other things, I guess. Elixir of Demon Slaying only has a 2-minute uptime, I believe, so you will have to refresh it during the fight. He's casting a Blast Nova there. That was actually interesting. That was actually kind of interesting. Let's actually see what happens there. Looks like he's casting Blast Nova and we don't actually... I'm not sure if we actually interrupt his Blast Nova there. Let's see. I think it's going to be in a second here. He starts casting Blast Nova. DBM timer is a little bit off. It's saying Blast Nova 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's casting it here. It looks... Okay, so I think what actually happened here is the raid gets stunned and the debris mechanic goes out, meaning that the Blast Nova mechanic actually got canceled there because we wouldn't have been able to click the cubes because we would have been stunned. Or maybe everyone does click the cubes and then we get stunned, so we get the click off before the stun goes out. And now you're going to see me getting a bit of bad RNG. You can see I'm a little bit tilted about that. It's bad RNG, but I also could have saved myself there. I'm getting knocked in front of the boss due to the mechanic, and I simply get cleaved and die. The cleave kind of just one-shots me. So it's a bit unlucky that I get knocked in front of the boss. Now just a little bit of the floor warrior DPS POV in TBC. This is a classic position to be in as a melee DPS in TBC. You're kind of going to end up dying to some cleave mechanics or other mechanics that other classes don't really even have to interact with because they're ranged, right? A ranged DPS would never really die to this boss's cleave. But it's worth mentioning that I definitely could have saved myself there by intervening out at the right time. I just wasn't fast enough. And the boss is at 900,000 HP, so we're getting pretty close to a kill here. Everyone's a bit on edge, a bit nervous at this point, because we really don't want to mess this up, right? This would be the first kill on the beta, right? So we are going to get this kill, but there's something a bit skeptical that happens at the end. This boss is bugged on the beta currently, and you are going to experience us getting the glitch. It's also worth mentioning that this is not my group. It's not my group who's supposed to click. I believe it's like group 4 or something at this point that's supposed to click, but I'm kind of just positioning myself to be ready to click the cube, you know, just in case, because I don't see anyone else in position to click the cube at this point. Even though it's not my responsibility in this situation, I'm just kind of covering the position, right? And I do go ahead and click the cube. It looks like it was Sarth's responsibility to click the cube there, as you can see him like run up to the cube quickly, but I just wasn't really 100% sure what was happening there, and I just wanted to prevent a wipe at all costs. Like he's DPSing the boss a little bit here, trying to get as high on the meter as he can, but in my opinion that was a bit risky of him. He wasn't really close enough to the cube, so I was a bit scared, so I end up clicking the cube for him. And this is where the glitch I was talking about comes into play here. So everyone clicks their cubes as he's casting Blast Nova, right? And that's going to cancel his Blast Nova. It cancels his first Blast Nova, but then he immediately starts casting another Blast Nova, and this is not supposed to happen. He's not supposed to be able to cast a Blast Nova back to back like that. That just doesn't really make any sense. So let's watch that again. So he's casting Blast Nova, we click the cube, and it's going to cancel his cast as he's casting the Nova, right? So he just casted a Blast Nova, and we just prevented it from happening. And now you're going to see him start casting another Blast Nova again instantly. As everyone in the original group is still clicking the cube and holding the cube, he's casting another Blast Nova. So the other group, the relief group for clicking the cube, is nowhere near the cubes at that moment because he literally just casted a Blast Nova. This is not supposed to happen. This is a glitch. Him being able to cast one Blast Nova and instantly back-to-back cast another. And this Blast Nova does go off. You can see massive raid damage going out. But fortunately for us, we did get a bit lucky. The boss is low enough, and we are able to just kill the boss before the Blast Nova goes out and kills everyone in the raid. We did get a bit lucky there at the end, I'm not gonna lie. But so yeah, guys, kind of trash loot dropped. Some crit gloves dropped. I wish I had won those, but it's the beta anyway. The loot obviously doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this live commentary of the world first, and it might be the only pre-nerf mag kill when it had 8.3 million HP. We were able to get the first kill. I was really happy with that. You can see I'm popping off a little bit because I'm pretty happy that we actually got the kill. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live commentary, and stick around my YouTube channel for more TBC content in the future. Thank you guys for watching.